pretty much going to be talking about what we'll trade it. So, let me just stop this. Yeah. Essentially, really, it's not a complex trade. It's the usual lineup. I mean, by now, it probably sounds pretty repetitive for those of you who consistently watch my stuff. But yeah, very simple here. So daily time frame is clearly bullish, right? You can tell that structure is bullish, came back, retraced, and now is expanding higher, right? So really, we're just anticipating a continuation higher. That's pretty much what we're looking for, right? With that being said, we scale down to the 4 hour to see if that's in line with the daily time frame bias. And if it is, great, then we move on a little bit lower. So what do we see about the 4 hour? The 4 hour expanded higher right here, right? Yet we didn't get, and we just got its retracement, right? And where do we get the retracement into? I want to show you before I do say it, but it's pretty much the golden pocket. Not that it really matters, but it's just discount. That's what matters. See, when I was trading it initially, I saw this one right here, the 61.8, right? And from there, the 4 hour maintained bullish structure, nevertheless, just that retraced and it retraced hard. But that's fine because we know that all that's doing is trying to entice people who are selling off higher time frame zones to think that this was the bearish reaction they were getting and we're going to go lower. Now, yes, one thing that I could have been looking out for is this order block right here, right? But moving on, we had this fair value gap that never got tapped in also. So coming into New York session here, this was yesterday's trade. What do we notice? We noticed that a 4 hour or 1 hour low is swept, right? And after being swept, we know that hourly structure is bearish though, right? So we can't just long this when we knew that on terms of the hourly time frame market is drifting lower, even though on the higher time frame is going to expand. We don't know for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes, 10 hour, 2 hours, or even 3 hours if the market is going to continue going lower and then expand, right? So with that being said, we need to have confluences to know that the hourly is going to flip. For example, a 15-minute break, right? Because if the 15-minute breaks, that means that 75% of the hour had already been bullish, and most likely you're going to get a shift in structure that's going to continue onto the hourly time frame. Makes sense? So this is session open. Anything before session open tends to be a liquidity sweep or is just a buildup of liquidity for market to take. And that was exactly the case, right? We noticed that we get the sweep here, right? However, we don't necessarily get, and we finally get the break of structure right here, right? This is where we get the break of structure, and from there, any entry within here would have been valid. And pretty much that's how we had take profit here. In short, I mean, me personally, if you can scrutinize and say, how did I trade it? I was actually I had an appointment. So in essence, I pretty much just noticed that the sweep happened. And I just pretty much gave myself 20 pips to just at least be protected from a deeper sweep so that I could at least target these highs and then take profit on those. And on top of that, I noticed that 5 minute structure had pretty much shifted at this point. When I saw this 5 minute sweep, this reaction, I was pretty much getting ready to enter within here. I sort of like entered around here. And I sent this over to the Discord. But yeah, this was the trade that we took. And but the move that we're looking for is actually this move here. Funny enough. And unfortunately, we weren't able to catch it because, well, market didn't want to go that day and essentially just built up more liquidity because, for you to understand, sellers got enticed here. Buyers got a fake reaction. Sellers got validated. And then from there, they got swept out and buyers got stopped out also, where price ultimately head to its overall direction. Everyone loses, but price goes in the true direction. This is where you have to always position yourself in order to make money from everyone getting stopped out and then getting in, if that makes sense. But yeah, this pretty much was a simple trade, 30-minute supply, right? 30-minute supply gets tapped into here. And then you get a internal sweep off of this decisional, right? And you also get an SMT here where you have interactions with sellers. Buyers get stopped out, sellers get stopped out, in the mitigation back into the order block, and an expansion to Valhalla. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Would have been an awesome trade to take.